Just a quick comparison of the MGW Fbody shifter versus the new Tick Billet. Here's the MGW. This needs to be screwed on correctly, I suppose, but try to hold the camera steady. All that slop is probably in the transmission. Here's me trying to twist it. Ain't going anywhere. Here's me trying to push it over with one finger. Trying. Quite a bit of effort. So I always liked how it felt, but I just thought I'd try the new Tick. Let's get the new one on there. Here's the new Tick. Looks really nice. The first thing I noticed was that I can see if I can get that. Get a lot more play in it in the shifter itself. Not sure if that's intentional or these are really tight. I torqued them pretty hard. This rod is shorter, probably like maybe a ½ inch or 3/4 or something, and it actually feels easier. I thought it would feel harder since it's shorter. I have less leverage, but it feels easier, which might not be a bad thing to some people, but I really don't like that. Like the MGW is like 3 years old. I've had it for a while. I've used it a lot. It doesn't. I mean, it's definitely going to go into third for you. I just don't. It doesn't feel as. They say it's stronger centering springs, but I don't really feel that. This feels softer, and this is. Got some slop in it. So far, not really. I mean, it doesn't really feel better to me, in my personal opinion. I do love the O-ring seal down here. I think that's cool, but yeah, so far not really too impressed, honestly. I don't think it would feel worse driving around or anything, but this feels, it's stiff, but it's not as stiff as the other one, which I prefer the other one, I guess. But this slop is going to drive me insane. The other one had nothing, zero, and this is just the transmission. I'm, fairly positive. See if I can hold this steady and get more of a better angle of it. The slop. It's not a lot. It's not like it's gonna. I don't know. It just cost $50 more, or however much more, $30, $40 more in the MGW. And mine's old. I've had it for 3 years or something, and it's got none of this. This isn't gonna like make or break your shifting. I just thought they would both be super tight and not have any slop. Anyway, just went ahead and threw the MGW back on. It does move a little bit, actually. Maybe I'm just being a baby, but I mean, it's a lot of that's in the transmission while I'm moving the shifter back and forth. But it's less. It's much less, and I can't feel it, and it doesn't make a noise. It doesn't go click, 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 click. Like, I'm really trying to do that. The other one I don't have to try as much. Here's like a quick comparison of this is a Tremec I had laying around. It's brand new. I've never used it. I've had it for like a week. It became on my new Magnum F that I bought. This thing is absolutely dog shit. Like, it doesn't even return to center. Maybe it needs to be used or whatever, but this is like a stock Fbody shift rod or something that I threw on it, but like this thing is just junk. I mean, it's a shifter, it'll work fine, but as far as like something good, this thing's not good. And so here's the slop that it's got. Not a direct comparison, since the other ones have a different. This feels less. This has less slop than the Tick. It's got some, and I can feel it. But the MGW has a tiny bit that I can't feel. This has a tiny bit that I can feel, and then the Tick has a more than both combined, I believe. Like I can't even hear. I can't hear that. Oh, there it goes. Maybe a little bit. So, anyway, that's kind of a comparison. Just like a quick side-by-side. So the MGW's got a thicker plate on the bottom. I doubt that matters. Looks like this height is pretty similar. Boots on it, I bet it's, oops. Bet it's pretty close. Let me get these lined up here. So this one's higher up, which might be why it feels easier, even though the rod is, I guess they're even. This is all the way down, and this one was all the way down, as far as the ball would go down. So I think this one's a little bit shorter. Not much. Trying to hold that steady, but maybe that's why it feels easier. This is taller, so you have more leverage down here, even with a shorter rod. That might be why. I love this. This is so cool. The O-ring seal is awesome. I don't know why they all just don't have that. That was a really good idea. But it just doesn't. Maybe I have to. I mean, I'm sure I have to drive it, but just sitting in here in the garage and feeling how much force it takes to move it, and into the different gates and stuff. This one feels a lot stiffer to me. But maybe this one has more leverage here, but the springs inside are stronger, which will put it into third easier on the driver. I'm not really sure. But the slop on this is, when you can twist it like that, not confidence inspiring personally. If they both had it, that's one thing, because I've had this for years and I've never noticed any slop, and it doesn't have any. But if they both had that same slop, that'd be one thing. But this one's just, it doesn't move at all, which is impressive because I've used it. It's got thousands of miles on it or whatever. And this one, you can twist it like this. So that's my biggest complaint so far. So I was trying to think of a way to measure the centering springs on these, and this is kind of a quick way that I thought of doing it. This is a T56 I haven't installed yet, so I have it mounted to where I can put plates of weight on it and see how much weight it takes to move the shifter over for each one. I realize I'm being kind of overkill on this. I was just kind of disappointed with the Tick. I thought it would be better, and now I'm just trying to see if I even want to run it, and by like doing all this little testing and stuff. And I couldn't find any videos or reviews of either one, comparing the two. So just trying to do my best to do that. This bolt right here is virtually identical to this machined face on the Tick. So if you line them up side by side, this and this are, to the naked, you can't tell the difference. They're the same height. I'm gonna use these couple washers here to sort of make that surface flat so I can put weights on it. I've already done this test. I already know what to expect. So here we go. This is a 25-pound plate. Not that it really matters, we're just testing to see which one is more, I guess. There's 25 pounds. This is a 5 pound. And then these are some washers I have. So we'll do 4 of these. Oops. So it took a slightly different result earlier, like yesterday when I did this. But it's really cold out. I don't know if that's going to make the metal shrink in there and cause a different result. Maybe I dropped the 4 on there too much. There it goes. So it looks like 5 washers. The 5 and a 25 to get the MGW to move off center. So now we'll install the tick, see how much weight it takes. Here's the new tick installed. I kind of know what to expect, like I was saying. I did this test yesterday. It's much colder. Yesterday it actually took, the MGW actually took 4 more of these washers than it did today. So the metal must be cold or something that affects the springs. I don't know. It's like 15 degrees out or something like that. It's really cold. So I don't know if that affects it, but this is just a 25 pound plate. I'm gonna put it on here really gently. And so it didn't even take the plate. So I can't really, it's not apples to apples if I start stacking smaller plates, because it moves them out further and that's gonna put more leverage on it. So I think just for this test, we can just say that the MGW has much stronger centering springs. It doesn't even, like, I'm having to help this quite a bit to bring it back up. It's not like it's just barely enough. Like I have to actually, it feels like I have to put about 5 pounds on it to bring it up. So as far as I can tell, the tick centering springs are not the strongest. Like the website says in bold letters, which I thought that would mean it was even more stiff than the tick or than the MGW. The MGW is definitely stronger springs. And this is a used unit. I've said it over and over. This is at least 3 years old. I tried to look and see when I bought it. They have a new one now. It's a different color. So I know this is the old one. Anyway. And this isn't saying that it's going to take 25 pounds of force to move this to the side, because the force you're going to apply when you're driving is up here, and you're going to have more leverage. So if we did the test up here, it'd take less weight. It just didn't matter to me. I just wanted to see which one took more weight, and the MGW took a lot more weight to move. So my suspicions are confirmed that this is much easier to move, and personally that's not what I was looking for, so that's why I did this test. So just to summarize, I think I prefer so far without driving the car, which I guess sounds kind of stupid to me, but now that I'm saying it out loud, but I like the feel of this one so far more, and this is a 3-year-old shifter. It's got thousands of miles on it. Like, this is all worn out. This is not a bad feeling shifter, and I need to drive on it. But I feel like I'm paying $50 more for this, or however much more it is. I don't know. It was like $300 on their site, and then marked down to $260 or something within shipping. And anyway, it's more. It feels easier to shift, which some people might like. To me, I like the super stiff centering springs on this because it feels like you're doing a bolt action on a gun. This one feels pretty similar, it's just easier to do. Some people might like that. The slop side to side on it doesn't make me feel good about spending more money on it. There might be a reason for that. I know these are rebuildable and they have a lifetime warranty, and there's more than that I'm forgetting, I'm sure, but I just don't like that. And even the super lame stock Tremec that's meant to just get you by, it has less. It feels better as from a slop side to side perspective. So this is not a bad shifter. I'm not shitting all over Tick. I've run a lot of their products. I have their master cylinder and it's awesome. I've had zero problems with it. I've had it for longer than I've had this, I believe. No problems with it. It works great. The shift ball is really nice. And I've ordered the bronze shifter cup too a couple times, and a couple other parts for my T56s over the years, and they've always been good. So if I hadn't had this and I went from like a stock one to this, I would think, man, this is awesome. And it is awesome. It's a really nice shifter, and this O-ring seal is sweet. If you already have an MGW, just personally, I would just keep it. It feels better. If you're trying to pick between the two, coming from a stock one or whatever, they'll probably both be fine. I would pick this one. Peace.